Hey guys, Sarah here with JDS, and today I'm here with Al, our trophy pal. He's our in-house trophy expert, knowing all about those trophy terms, how to build a trophy, and everything in between. So let's have him teach us a few things together.
All right, Sarah, so I see you got an assortment of trophy components here on the table today. Looks like we're gonna build a 2-tier trophy. Looks like we got a wide assortment of fishing toppers, and we got some year-date trims, got a riser, some check ring, some rods. We got some hex nuts, some couplers.
So we have all of our pieces. We've cut down our columns to 9 1/4 and 6, based off the height that we want to have of the trophy. Now, what would be the first step as we have all of our pieces laid out?
Okay, when building a trophy, you're actually gonna wanna start opposite of building a house. You're actually gonna wanna start from the top and work your way down. So here we're gonna start with the figure top, which would be the very top of the trophy, which today we're gonna use a bass figure. And then from here, we're gonna attach our coupler, which is gonna interlock this figure and our rod size, which
is our shorter one for, so a coupler, we're connecting those 2 threaded pieces to make an extension, one long extension?
Correct.
Okay, and why are we starting from the top?
Because we're gonna have to go through the top all the way down and then put a hex nut to tighten it all together to secure it all. Okay. So on this one, we got the rod attached to the figure with a coupler, and then we are gonna take a check ring, put that over. That's gonna actually give this something to grab onto, because if we didn't use it, it would go right into and it wouldn't look good.
So it's decorative and purposeful.
Exactly. So we'll put that on here, secure it on, and then here we're gonna use a riser on here to kind of dress it up a little bit, add a little flavor to the trophy, and then we'll put the lid on.
So a riser isn't necessary. This is just adding height, more decorative, yet purposeful still.
Just giving a little more decor to the trophy. As some would say, fancying it up.
Fancying. And the tool you're using there?
This is a 1/4-inch nut runner, or you could use a 1/4-inch socket if you have one of those. So pretty much we'll get it tight, we'll kind of move it around, center it all up, make sure it's looking good, and then we'll give it a nice little turn. Don't want to over tighten it due to the fact that these studs are in plastic, so if you over tighten it, it will pull too much force equals broken plastic, and you don't want that.
All right, so we made our top with our lid.
So now we're gonna go from our lid down to our base.
Okay.
So we're gonna take our year-date trim, and how do we affix this to the rod?
I'm gonna guess a coupler.
Correct. So we'll grab that bad
Whoops.
boy.
And I grabbed 2 rod lengths here. I have a 9 1/2 and a 10-inch rod. And I cut my columns at 9 1/4. So how would I know which one I want to use?
So pretty much you're going through 3/4 of an inch of marble, then you're going through your 9 1/4 inches of column, plus then you got to go down through here about 1/2 of an inch. So that way you get enough to grab the hex nut on the bottom. So we'll go with your longer rod that you got there.
Okay. So when looking, I need to take account of the lid being 3/4 of an inch, whatever my column length, and then are these all going to be about 1/2 inch, or those can all vary?
Those are all 3/4 of an inch thick,
okay.
But they're countersunk 1/2 of an inch. So
makes sense. So you lose that. Okay.
So we're going to take this, we're going to push this through and we want to make sure we put it on the right side, because we want 20 on the left and 2023 on the right. I'll take
and our fish jumping up.
Coupler quick. Another rod quick.
Now we have a coupler and we have a ferrule. Ferrules, we're talking bottom base, and couplers all within the mid.
The pretty much the ferrules, what they're going to be good for is every once in a while you'll cut a column that might not be exactly the length of the rod when it comes out the bottom. Sometimes it'll be a little bit just too short, and how you can get up there and grab that is with these ferrules. We got 3/8 ferrules, 1/2-inch ferrules. So we got different lengths of ferrules, so that way you can compensate if you need to go up and grab it versus have enough rod to go to the bottom.
Okay. So these are good just to have, just to get that a little extra length of your rod if you're cutting
If
is a
you
little
fall,
off.
correct, if you fall
Okay.
short. So we'll put the check ring on it, hides our saw blades on our columns, slide those bad boys up. Can do both at once. And then we'll put check rings on the bottom, hide the saw blades at the bottom. So it's kind of sticking out a little bit.
Okay, and how much length would you, so we want that 1/2 inch that's gonna go through the base.
Correct, but you don't want it too long where it sticks out, and then once you put it together,
Through here.
it'll scratch the tabletop. So you just want it to make sure that it sits down in that recessed area.
Okay,
So we'll put this, boom.
now this would be, if this was a little short, we could put one of these guys in.
Correct, but since it's sticking out far enough where a hex nut can grab it, we can get away with using that.
Okay,
And then sometimes it's just easier to put your hex nut in here, so that way it's not falling around. You can grab it right away. So you'll get it somewhat tight, not too tight, so that way we can get everything put together. Then we can straighten everything up, make it look good before we do the final tightening.
okay,
Kind of move the columns, make them look good, centered. Everything looks straight.
so it's best to kind of build them on their side first
Correct.
instead of balancing act.
And then once you get it all together, we got that part.
Ready?
Now we got a hold on here for trim. Some people put, different stars. This one we're actually gonna put a first place to distinguish.
Okay, so this one we're gonna be first place. So you've just set this in there.
Yep, and then
Because all of the trim and figures are gonna be threaded.
Yep, they got a 1/2 inch stud that comes out the bottom of them.
Okay.
And then so since that goes down into the recessed area and there's enough area to grab it,
That again is gonna be a hex nut, or you
Yep.
also could use a ferrule.
you could use a ferrule if you wanted, but it's overkill. You can just use a hex nut.
Okay.
And then voila, you have yourself a 2-tier trophy.
Super quick, super easy, very informative. Thank you, Al.
Super easy. Let's see you do it.
Yes. Hopefully that was helpful. I definitely learned a lot. If you guys do have any more questions or want to check out all of those options of columns, trims, figures, bases, lids, JDS is definitely the place to go. There'll also be a link down here for some more trophy resources of kind of a breakdown of different definitions of all those terms that we were using. And of course, any questions at all, please check us out more online or give us a call at the number below. And Al, I want to thank you for teaching us how to build one of these. Al, I want to thank
I'm going fishing.